Alright guys, welcome to a new Let's Play I'm going to be doing. This time around, as you can see on the screen here, this is Arx Fatalis. It was released in 2002 by the French developer Arcane Studios, who you may know from some of their other works such as Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which was 2006, and most recently Dishonored, released just this last year. They also did some work in the multiplayer for Call of Duty World at War and did some level design for Bioshock 2, but that's not that important. And yeah, Arx Fatalis is basically, as far as I can remember, kind of a spiritual successor to the Ultima Underworld series, or it's a homage to it at least. So, first person action RPG. And if you didn't watch the intro video, I do suggest you go do that now. I'll kind of recap as we go along, but it explains the backstory to the game. So, yeah, and I'm also using the Arx Liberatus fan patch, the first version of which was released in April of 2012, but they've got up to version 1.0.3, and it's basically just a lot of bug fixes and stuff like that, so it's very nice. It also opens up some new options, such as you can change the renderer. You can have resolutions up to 1920 by 1080. It added some anti-aliasing and VSync. And let's see, some other goodies. Oh yeah, you can choose the back end for like one of the spellcasting system, or for the spellcasting system. Anyways, I'll shut up. Let's get going. So here's the character creation screen. We have 4 people, or 4 appearances we can pick from. We've got this guy here, this blonde dude with kind of a buzz cut, this rather homeless looking person, and this guy who for some reason has a pentagram on his forehead. Never quite understood that. But I think we're just going to go with the basic design here, just because, I don't know. He looks kind of adventure-y. So yeah, we've got 4 stats. We've got strength, we've got mental, we have dexterity, and constitution, and then we have 9 skills. We have stealth, lockpicks, or technical skill, which is picking locks and disabling traps, intuition, ethereal link, object knowledge, casting, close combat, ranged combat or projectile, and then defense, which is, I've always felt was kind of redundant because you have a constitution stat. But anyways, I think this time around, because there's really no classes in this game, you kind of just make a class based on what you put into your main attributes, and then what you put into your skills. So I think this time I'm going to go with kind of a all-around character, but amp up the mental, or no, what was I going to do? There we go. Yeah, I'm going to try and go for kind of a sneaky spellcasting character, just because I've always found them to be a bit more fun. So let's do some lockpicks, do some stealth. I guess we'll call that good for now. And yeah, I'll go over more what these do in a little bit, but this is dragging on a bit already. So let's watch the opening cutscene. here we have our interface. Basically, you right-click to open your inventory, and this is cursor mode, where basically you can rearrange stuff in your inventory. And this is free look mode, so of course you can look around freely. To pick up items on the ground, you hold down shift and click, or you can go into cursor mode, click and drag. So, two different ways of putting stuff in your inventory. You can also pick up anything, and or anything that you can pick up. If you see this blue arrow, that means you can throw it. You can also just carry it around and set it on stuff. But what we want to do is we actually want to go over here and talk to this guy.
Stranger, we have to get out of...
My memory, it's gone. I remember nothing. Not even my own name. What did I come here to do?
The gobblers probably crept up on you from behind. Bloody gobblers. Come on, look around your cell. There has to be a way to get out on your side. I can't do anything on my side.
And he is actually right. There is something we can do over here, which is we can take this block, and surprisingly, we can throw it pretty dang far. And then we just bend these bars over here. And here we get our first weapon. And as you can see at the top of the screen, you equip it by pushing F. And then to enter combat mode, or to ready your weapon, you hit tab. And the way combat works in this is you can either just swing it and do a little bit of damage, or you can charge it if you click and hold the attack button. And depending on what direction you push while clicking and holding, you'll do different attacks. So, for instance, if I hold back and click and drag, I stab, go to the left, swing to the left, go to the right, swing to the right, go forward. It's the same as your regular attack. Oh, no it's not. So walking forward will actually swing from above. Okay. Primarily I'll be using the stab just because it has the longest range out of all the attacks. But of course the combat system is a little finicky. So I'll probably end up using all of the attacks. Anyways, this goblin here has a note, which is one of the main features of the game. Is there is lots and lots of notes, and there's quite a few books as well that you can read to kind of get more of a backstory. And some of the notes actually have like puzzle hints and codes for different things. So basically, this guy is just, he's watching the cells, and Anatole was supposed to come and take over when he was done eating.
You've got him. Now, please, open my...
But looks like we kind of took care of him before that could happen. So now what we want to go do is come over here and open this guy's cell.
Thank you, Shigar. If you can't remember your name, you better keep this one. It means, he who has no name in a foreign tongue. My name is Koltar, and I was part of the Travelers Guild before I ended up here.
I'm Shigar. Yes, I'll keep this name for now.
Well, you really have lost your memory, haven't you? Our world no longer has a sun to heat it, and outside is nothing more than a huge expanse of ice. Only those who are trained and equipped for extreme conditions are allowed to make the dangerous trek between fortress cities hidden deep in the mountains. These people are the Guild of Travelers.
Right. We shall discuss this later. Now let's get out of here.
I am injured. I won't be able to get through this hole. I'll stay here and wait till you can open the door.
And yeah, unfortunately, one of the bugs with Arx Fatalis, and it does this in the original game too, but occasionally the speech will just cut off for no apparent reason. So, anyways, what we want to do is break that open and fall down this hole. And this leads us to a new area, which I don't remember the name of. Oh, and yes, you can browse your character's stats at any time by pressing F1. And so here is your character. It shows what he has equipped. Over here you've got your armor class, your magic resistance, poison resistance, your health, your mana, and your attack, basically. So, and then F3 is your map, and F4 is your journal. And as we'll see in just a moment here, we found some runes. And in order to put them in our spellbook, we have to just hover over them with the cursor and press F. And now if you press F2, you can see we've got our runes over here, and our spells, which we only have one of, right here. If you click on it, it'll actually show it up in the corner up here, so that way if you close your spellbook, you can still see what spell you were trying to cast. Oop, let's get rid of this rat real quick. I guess he's not doing anything. Never mind. Anyways, to open spellcasting mode, or to go into spellcasting mode, you hold down Control. And this is where the game gets a little finicky. The spellcasting system isn't the greatest. It was an interesting idea, but I think they should have just stuck with a regular spellcasting system. Because what you have to do in this is you actually have to draw the runes. And I wasn't standing in the correct area for that spell, so let's go over here. Try it again. Oop. And yep, our first spell of the game is Ignite, and basically it lights up all of the torches in your general proximity. Not incredibly useful, but we will use it a few times. So, and let's see, nothing useful in here. Yes, one thing I should mention is another part of this game is you have to eat. You don't have to eat that often, and Shigar will tell you when he's hungry. He'll say something like, you know, oh, I should eat something. And then you just open your inventory, eat a piece of bread, and he's good. But there's also a crafting... well, not really a crafting system, but you can make potions. There's a couple other things you can do as well. Now, what we want to do is we want to use this elevator. But
something is wrong.
Yeah, the elevator isn't working. Let's see if we pull this lever.
Something is wrong.
These two pulleys, there's missing the rope or the belt that goes around it. So we have to go and find a belt. That way we can actually use the elevator. So let's go and explore a little bit. And yeah, for those of you who didn't watch the intro, basically Arx takes place entirely underground. The sun was burning out, and so all of the races on the overworld ended up digging underground and taking shelter in a dwarven mine. That's no better. Or in abandoned dwarven mines. But now that everyone is down here, that whole, you know, collaborating to get away from the frozen wasteland that was the overworld, kind of went away, and now the pecking order is back to how it used to be. Anyways, one thing we can do with that spell that we got is we can light bonfires. And if we light a bonfire and, say, take this fresh fish we found, we can actually cook it. So we got ourselves a cooked fish, which I'll go ahead and just eat. Unfortunately, there's not a hunger meter, so you can't really tell how hungry Shigar is. Just have to wait for the audio cue. Anyways, here we have a spider. I will be the first to say, I really hate spiders. I really hate spiders, even tiny ones. They're just creepy, creepy little bastards. But thankfully these ones are pretty easy to deal with. You just gotta smack them with a bone and down they go. Oh, yeah, you can equip torches and they light your way. I'm sure that was pretty obvious, but I never actually said it. I'm so used to playing this game and not explaining it, so that may take me a moment. We also have some potions. We have a life potion, a cure poison potion, and then we have a bottle of wine. And in here, we've got a rope, and some bread, and another fish. And there's nothing in this barrel. But, yeah, there's 5 different kinds of potions, I believe. We'll see the rest of them later on. The wine doesn't actually do anything, but if you drink too much of it, you will start to get some visual effects on screen. Mainly just the picture will fade to black and then pop back in. So, anyways, now that we've got this rope, we can fix the elevator, which nets us our first level in the game. And if we open our character book here, basically every level you get 1 major skill point, or 1 stat point, and then 15 skill points. So I'm going to, because kind of a sneaky character, going to start putting points into dexterity. Also want to put 1 point into item or object knowledge, and put more points into technical skill. And put some into stealth. I think that was everything, right? Yep. Now, alternatively, if you don't want to go through all of that, you can also do this. You may have noticed, although I didn't look at it, I tried to ignore it. There's 2 pressure plates. There's one here, and there's one over here. Now, what you want to do here is start throwing the rocks. I already threw those 2. But you want to get rid of all the rocks so that this pressure plate pops up. And then you want to take one of the rocks, and it can be any of them, they all have the same weight apparently, and put it on this pressure plate. And what that'll do is it'll actually open this secret passage right here. And if we go in here, we get a bottle of wine, a set of tools, which is lockpicks, a couple torches, a little metal key, which, quick note, picking up the metal key automatically spawns a rat. Just take care of him. We've also got life, a mana potion. And if we open this barrel, we have another rope. So if you don't want to trek all that way and fight the spiders, there will be a rope in that barrel for you. And there's also an apple if you want it. So, now that we've fixed the elevator, let's go ahead and take a ride. And we're supposed to go that way, but before we do that, let's take a quick detour over here. because not only is there a rat, but it'll give us a few experience points. There's 2 words in that sentence. Or phrase, or whatever that was. There's also a dagger. It's still pretty beat up. Has 19 out of 50 durability, which pretty much every weapon and armor that you'll get in this game does have a durability, which you can repair later, but most of them have enough durability that you really don't need to worry about it. Also, there's a fish in the wall here, if you want. Anyways, now that we've got a slightly stronger weapon, it's only 1 point more, I think. Let's go ahead and go this way. And again, we are supposed to go that way, but let's go over here real quick, because there's another rat. But, unfortunately, that's really all there is over here. Just a rat. Oh, and yes, that is one thing to note. If you are about to swing, but you don't want to anymore, you can either just swing, or if you press, or if you right-click, you'll automatically put your weapon away. So that's a shortcut for exiting combat mode. You can push tab as well. Does the same thing, but I'm used to just opening cursor mode. Anyways, we go in here.
Me bring you back to Sam.
And there's a Goblin Ward, who we now have to stab in the face. And that was another bug with Arx Fatalis. Occasionally, when the game has to load, it'll still take into account that you're holding...
Shigar, we got him!
Anyways, it'll still take into account that you are holding a direction, and it'll keep you moving your character while the game is loading, and so you'll occasionally just run forward really fast for no reason. Also, one thing you may not know, if you've played this game before, you can use a potion on Coulthard if he'd stop moving. And his animation actually changes. He's walking upright now.
Just after you went through the hole, I heard a noise. So I hid and waited till the goblin came in. This time I got the drop on him, sneaky bastard.
Anyways, we already looted that guy. Which, this piece of wood right here is actually the handle, or the lever. Yeah, the handle for that lever, which opens the way out of here. But before we do that, here's a goblin reservation. If we take this little metal key, we can actually go in here. And there's a few goodies in here. There's some more fish. There's some gold, another dagger, and another torch. And in here we've got a bottle of wine, got some water, and some apples. Which actually, go ahead and grab some flour as well, and this rolling pin. And I'll show off real quick. There's actually a few item recipes. So if you take this water, mix it with the flour, you can get a loaf of bread. If you mix the water and the flour, and then use the rolling pin on the dough, you get an uncooked pie, which turns into a regular pie when you bake it. Or you can add some apples to it and make yourself an apple pie. You can't cook flour though. Anyways, usually the bread is more than enough to get Shigar by, and he won't complain very much, if at all, when you give him nothing but bread and water. Anyways, if we go up here, we have to do one of the more annoying things, I think, in the game. I mean, it's not time-consuming, it's just awkward. To transition from floor to floor, you have to go into cursor mode, go to the top right corner of the screen, and double-click on this stair icon. So, yeah, I always thought that was a little weird. But this takes us to the Goblin, I guess the Goblin prison. We were in one part of it before. And I think this is going to be a good stopping point for now. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. I'm going to try and do the game by sections instead of by minutes. So the episodes may be a bit longer than usual. But still, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I shall see you the next time, where we'll tackle the Goblin prisons.